set your KPIs.
Okay, what are we trying to achieve?
Okay, I don't know
so
what in the
this is,
waiting room, but
see that a lot of organizations, like when they start compliance strategy to stay ahead of
hello, good afternoon, everyone. Esther, what's the plan?
In fact, for the early adopters, I remember
my network is a bit shaky, and that's why I haven't said anything. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure to have each and every one of us here this afternoon. Welcome to the third and final day of this skills lab session. I genuinely hope that all the questions that we have not asked over time, we would ask them today and get clarity, and above all, take further steps to enhance our digital competence, digital competencies as lawyers. So I just want to say to each and every one of us that we're welcome to today. Over the past few days, we have focused on efficiency, productivity, file management, file extensions, and how to incorporate digital tools for our legal practice. So today we're going to conclude with cybersecurity. And cybersecurity is a subject that I'm sure we don't take very seriously as lawyers, as regards maybe password setting, protecting information, data, or consistently filling forms, putting our passwords, signing into different platforms. And it's so important for our work that we take cybersecurity very seriously. I can see that Mr. Chicha is on the call today with us, so can give him a virtual hand. And he's going to be the facilitator for today. He was facilitator on day one, and he's going to be the one facilitating today too. I just want to say that we should prepare questions. That's the way we would learn, effectively and appropriately. We should prepare questions to ask in advance. If possible, have laptops open so that we're following and listening and learning. Mr. Chicha, you're welcome to today, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Barrister Esther. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Like you all know, my name is Chicha, and we will be looking into cybersecurity today. So before we start, I would like to share my screen. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, Mr. Chicha, we can see your screen, sir.
Okay, it's all right. Okay, so today's session we'll be looking into the introduction to cybersecurity. No, cybersecurity is a very complex professional field that if we say we will complete everything today, it will be difficult for us to do that. So we'll be introducing cybersecurity, but we'll try as much as possible to dive deep into some concept. Some concept we will only try to paraphrase. And today's class will be a little bit more of hands-on experience. So today's session we'll be covering understanding cyber risks in legal practices. We'll also be talking about password and access security, email and attachment security, secure file storage and sharing, as well as device security and safe work habits. So, what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting digital systems, networks, and data from unauthorized access, attacks, and damage. What that means is you have your systems and you want to protect it from unauthorized access. Sometimes you have like files on your laptop, you have money in your account, you don't want people to have access to this information. So you try to protect these resources from unauthorized users. That is what that particular statement means. It is especially important for law firms because they handle confidential client information. They also handle legal documents and privileged communications that are attractive targets for cyber criminals. Effective cybersecurity combines technologies just like phones, your laptop, your printer, you have your internet in your office, and you have then it also combines policies like the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. You have GDPR. You also have PCI DSS, and most of these other policies. Then also talk about user awareness to prevent data breaches, fraud, and service disruption. So it helps protect confidentiality. Like we said earlier, you don't want people to get to know what you are doing. For instance, I am sending you a message and you are sending me this message. Um, that you see is end-to-end communication. And the use of cybersecurity is also to maintain trust, to ensure business continuity, and comply with legal and regulatory obligations, making every staff member responsible for safeguarding information. So the next thing we want to look at now is cyber risks in legal practice. Like we said, those are the topics that we'll be covering, and one of them is cyber risks. So cyber risks are threats that can lead to data breaches, loss of clients' confidentiality, financial fraud, or disruption of legal services. Law firms are prime target because they hold sensitive clients' financial and litigation data. So we will now start asking, what are these cyber threats that are specifically aligned to the law firms? To start on our list, we look at phishing attacks. So phishing attacks are fraudulent emails that are designed specifically to trick lawyers or staffs into revealing passwords, opening malicious attachments, or sending. Hello, please, are you hearing me?
Yes, Mr. Lukman, we're hearing you. You can go on.
Okay, okay. So um, we talk about phishing attacks are emails that are being created to trick lawyers or any other individuals to review their password or open malicious attachments or send money. This the whole essence is once this happens, going back by what we said earlier about cyber security, it protects confidentiality and maintain trust and, business continuity. So if a phishing attack occurs, you see that the organization that has been attacked or the individual loses trust. Their records, their data is being exposed. Now, let's demonstrate how a an attacker can try to like trick you into uh, revealing your password or opening malicious attachment or sending money. And phishing attack is basically done through the email. So now here is our terminal. I am using a Kali Linux systems. This Kali Linux system is a cybersecurity operating system that we use for cybersecurity activities. The hackers too, some of them normally have access to such tools, while others they do not actually have access to such tools, but they go online, they buy it, and they use it for their malicious purpose. So I will increase the. So now we want to make use of Zfisher social engineering tool. The Zfisher, what they do is you create a link. This link, like we said earlier from here, you are being tricked to review your password or open malicious attachment or send money. So all these are done by you clicking a particular link that will lead you back to their system which has been created. So let's try to create a system now. So yeah, we can use okay now we have this is the social engineering tool that the attacker can use to clone a Facebook account. Now, if you look at the options there, you see that I can create a Facebook login page, create an Instagram login page, Google, Microsoft, or any other login page, and send you the link, trick you to click on it, and it will review your password for me, and I'll copy you. So, for the sake of this training, let's choose Facebook. I'll choose number one. Then it will ask me now, am I to use a traditional login page? So I'll choose one. Now then it will ask me whether I should use my local host or use a cloud first. The local host there is I want to host that particular page on my system. Then I'll choose one. Then it ask me whether I need a custom port, and I'll say no. Then it has generated a link for me. If you can look at the link, this is the link. This is the link here. So we have a link now. Copy this link. The next thing we want to do is we want to create an email, because from the phishing attack, so that it's a fraudulent email. So we want to create an email that the user might, the recipient of this email will feel that, okay, this is genuine. Okay, so let's come here. Let's go to my email. Then I can come to compose. So now I have my link here. This is the link generated from that uh, uh, software. But let's that it is still running. So whatever we do here, you will see that it will show us what's happening here. So let's go back here. So now we want to create a compelling mail that once a lawyer sees it, they will be tricked into looking at it. It means you need to come up with convincing information that once someone sees it, they will want to like probe to find out more about this information. Now, in the area of AI, attackers do no longer do this manually. They try to automate process. We were able to put you through the class of AI, and of course, you were able to understand some basic information about AI. So we'll just try to prompt this AI. The normal AI that we have today in the market, there is a policy that guides them, which is tech for good. Tech for good, it means that you cannot be able to use AI for malicious purposes. You cannot prompt AI to give you scripts that you can use to steal someone's money. But hackers still have AIs that they use for such purposes. And such an AI is what we call hacker AI, like what I'm using now. So we can just give it a little prompt and tell it to draft a fake email pretending to be a client, informing a lawyer about a post on Facebook. Remember that we generated our login page from Facebook. So we want to use Facebook as a tricky mechanism. Then a post on Facebook as evidence of a case of cyber bullying. So just hit enter. Now we'll wait for the AI to generate the. Now it has generated an email. Now, if you look at it now, if you look at the subject, it says urgent. Evidence of cyberbullying on Facebook. Need your immediate advice. Now, once you look at that heading, automatically it draws your attention to what's next. So AI normally generates information for you, but you still need to take your time, look at it, pick what you need, and throw away what you don't need. So for the purpose of this course, I have actually done that part already. So I can just go there and copy the email that I have generated. So now let's put our subject to be this. Then we can come here copy. Okay, so now let's go through what we wrote. So we say that, dear Barrister Afolabi, I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to bring to your attention a disturbing Facebook post that I believe constitutes a clear evidence of cyberbullying targeting my 14-year-old daughter, Kemi. Last night, I discovered a public post on the account. Then the reference is there, and the link to the profile is also there, where her nudes were shared, and he repeatedly called her derogatory names. This is unacceptable. The post has over 50 likes and comments piling on. This has caused Kemi severe emotional distress. She's been crying nonstop and refusing to go to school. Could we schedule an urgent meeting to review this and discuss next steps, such as is cease and desist or reporting to authorities? Available anytime this week. Best regard. So you see that with this email alone, anybody reading this will forget that I am trying to trick them to click the link. So we have generated the phishing link here. I can just copy this. Cut it. Then look at the profile link here, which is this particular one. So how do I impute that particular link in this mail so that the recipient won't be suspecting that this is a phishing link? I will just highlight that Facebook link, then come to attachment here, click on it, then it will now ask me to change, and I will now put my link here, then I will apply. You can see that it is very it's just hidden. The only thing you can see is facebook.com slash so you cannot talk that is actually a link leading you somewhere else. So after I've done that, I can just put the lawyer's email address. In this case, I'll use my own. Then once I see that everything is okay, I will just click on send. Now the email has been sent. So let me come to the other email and open it. So you can see that, look at the email here, urgent, evidence of cyberbullying against my daughter on Facebook. When I click on it, it will now open, showing me the link to visit the post directly. So at first glance, you can never tell that this is a phishing link. But how do you tell that it's a phishing link or not? If you are on the desktop or the laptop, you can hover on the link and look at the bottom left of your screen. Then you will see the URL where that particular link is leading. But if you look at the bottom left of the screen, you'll see that the URL there is saying 127.0.0.1 column 8080. So that is the loopback IP address. Now, when I click on this particular link, let's see what will happen. Okay. Let's try the process again. Okay, so I will just try to forward again the email I just created earlier. Then come here, change the URL, then forward to now. I'll go back and check my email. So let's delete the one that was here before. Okay, good. You can now see that it has taken us to Facebook login page. Okay, so yes. So you will see that it has lead you to the Facebook login page, requiring you to enter your login details. So for instance, I enter my login details to the put my email address there to user at example.com. Then I enter this as my password. The essence of the whole thing is once you submit, you will come back to this place. Now, if you look at what is happening here, this particular software, this application now has been is collecting information right now, and we are at the login page. So you click login, then it will now log you into your Facebook account. But when you come here, you will see that your password, your username, and your password has been collected. Look at the user. This is the username here, and this is the password here. It's collected. So what the attacker does is he will now copy this information, then go to Facebook website, then enter your real credentials there. You will now log into your Facebook account, then change your password, change your phone numbers, and uh, hack your account. So that is how they conduct phishing attack. Now that it calls for attention, paying attention to information. Another thing you need to pay attention for a phishing email is the need of urgency. When they start hurrying you to do something, you will now start paying attention. Oh, what do these people want? This is a phishing attack. They want to also look at ransomware. So what ransomware does is lock legal files and system and demands payment to restore access. If you are on Windows, there's a common issue there with Windows files where you have you will have your files converted to shortcuts. Then it happens almost at times, and that's a very good example of a ransomware. Now, once this happens and you try to open it, some of them they require you to pay money before such files are being released. Now, you are not guaranteed whether if you pay money, they will give you access to these files or not, or they will come back the next day and ask for more money. So you need to be very cautious on what kind of flash you fix on your system, and also what kind of links you click. Like the phishing attacks, sometimes it's not even actually about collecting your password, but is to have you download a ransomware where it will install your system and password your files. Then we also want to look at malware and viruses. So malware is malicious software that can steal, monitor activity, or damage system. Okay, so what that means is once you install a malware on your system, what they do is sometimes they do exactly the same thing like a ransomware, or sometimes they only just damage your activity, your files, or sometimes they try to track your activities for a while, like your browsing activity, what site you visit, who you talk to, and stuff like that, depending on the role, the decision of the attacker. So, for instance, how do an attacker or a hacker install a malware on your system? We'll still now try to demonstrate that part. I think we are done with this phishing link demonstration. So let's try to see. They have various tools where you can use to actually install a malware on uh, your victim's system. One of the tools that are common and I'm going to use to demonstrate is social engineering toolkit. So I'll be launching that now. I'll use sudo set toolkit, then enter my password. Okay, now this is the social engineering toolkit. So if you look at the option, the menu there, you see that social engineering attack, nutrition testing, third-party modules, and the other of the. So what I want to do now is I want to focus on the social engineering attack. So I will choose number one. Then choosing number one, and you see that it will bring another menu. And from all this menu, I want us to focus on number three, which is infectious media generator. So what I want to do is we want to ensure that this particular malware or virus that we are going to create, we want to transmit it through a USB drive or a flash drive. Okay, so we're going to choose three. Look at what is in the infectious USB CD or DVD module we create an autorun.inf. This particular file, most of the times when you see it on your system, those are the things they do. What they normally do is once it's being done, sometimes monitor your activities or sometimes corrupt your files. So look out for files that is with the file extension .inf, and sometimes come with the name autorun. So going forward, you see that when the DVD or USB is inserted, it will automatically run if autorun is enabled. So we're going to choose the file format, and I'm going to choose number one. Then it will going to ask me for the IP address for reverse connection. So the IP address is I'll have to use my own system because I want when the victim click on the PDF that I'm going to generate on the flash drive, it will automatically send a connection to my laptop where I can use to monitor their activities or read their files on their system. So I'm going to enter, for example, 127.0.0.1, which is a loopback IP address. Okay, so now it's going to ask me to choose a file format. So we are looking at which of them we're going to use. And a very good one here is the number 13, Adobe PDF embedded executable social engineering. So we'll choose 13. Then we want to ask us to choose whether we want to use a PDF that we have created that's on our system already, or we use a built-in blank PDF attack. So since this is a practical session, we're just going to use the second option, which is built-in blank PDF, and you can still use that some of the time if you want. Then we'll now choose the payload. That is the payload now is what particular program that we want that particular PDF to carry, so that once the victim clicks on it, it will execute. So we'll choose the first one, which is a Windows device TCP shell. Then I am required to enter my local host. I will say enter my local host to the my port. Enter port 8080, which is for the internet. So now it is generating the and payload is complete. Now, if you look at it, you see that um, your attack has been created in a set home, and you can copy the content of the folder to a CD or a DVD or a USB to auto-run. So once I copy this into a flash, there are many ways in which um, you can deliver this payload to your victims. Most of the times, someone can come to you and ask you that, okay, I need movies on your laptop or your desktop. Can you lend me some? Then you say, yes, we have movies. The next thing they do is they give you a flash. You don't know where this flash is coming from. You just collect it, you insert it on your laptop. And once you insert it, automatically, this particular flash now start working in the background without you knowing. So you have to be careful wherever you are using collecting flash or device. This also do with DVD drives. You also have to do with hard disks. Now we want to also look at business email compromise. Business email compromise. What it means is hackers sometimes take over a lawyer's or a partner's email to send fake payment instruction to clients or finance staff. How do they get access to your email? You'll discover that most of the times we register on different services online, Jumia, Konga, social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. There are lots of them. But you see, one that particular website is compromised, that is, a data breach has been occurred on that particular platform, you will discover that all your emails, your password, your phone numbers, everything about you, if it's a system that or it's an e-commerce platform, what happens is they collect your card details like the CVV numbers at the back of your card, the long number in the front of your card, and the expiry date of your card. With this information, they can form an attack vector and try to steal your money. Now, how do you know that your email has been compromised? Very, very important. There's a link here called that leads to a particular platform called Have I Been Pwned? That particular platform, what it does is once you submit your email there, it scans the various database that has been leaked and compare your email to see whether there's any matches. If there are any matches, it returns a statement telling you that, okay, Sifa, your email has been compromised. Now, it shows you the platforms on which your emails have been compromised. It means that those platforms where you registered on, those platforms were hacked and their data there has been stolen. So let's try to check that platform, this platform. Okay, now this is the website. So you will see in this field here, or your email, Let me type my email here. So I'll click on check. So you see that zero data breaches for this particular email. But if there are any data breaches on my email, you will see that it will list all of them. So how do you know that your email has been breached? I'm going to drop the link in the chat so that you can try that out and see whether your email has been breached. Okay, I've dropped a link in the chat. As we are on this call, you can just try it out and see, or maybe after the call, you can also check. So now, if you check and you find out that your your email has been compromised, what do you do? The first thing to do is to change your password. Very, very important. After changing your password, the next thing which you need to do is to um, enable multiple authentication on your email account. By multiple authentication, let's say that when you log onto another device, you get notified with the device that you are logged in already that another device is trying to access your email. So you should either approve or deny that access. Then another thing is if you have a strong password, what the attackers do is they most of the times try various number of passwords on your account to see if they can break it. So if you have a simple password, it will take them lesser time to break it. But if you have a complex password of a minimum of 8 characters, maximum of 64 characters, then having lowercase, uppercase, numbers, and special characters, it might take them 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and nobody wants to waste that energy. So those are the ways that you can protect yourself against business email compromise. Another threat is denial of service. Most of the times you want to browse, or let's say you are using the service like for instance your uh, uh, your ordering app. You want to buy food, or let's say from Glovo, and you try to log in on Glovo, and Glovo is giving you a problem. Glovo is not opening. You are struggling with it, and you are finding it difficult to to log in. But sometimes it's not that Glovo is not actually working. It's because an unauthorized access to client files or contract or litigation document or personal data, often caused by hacking or misconfigure cloud storage or storage devices. How is sorry? So what the attackers they do is they most of the time overload the systems or websites with a lot of requests. So let's say we have up to like 500 people trying to make requests to a system in 0 seconds. So it will overwhelm the system and the system will start becoming slow. A good example of such an attack, if you look at your laptop, for instance, once your laptop becomes full with your system will start slowing down. That's a very good example of what denial of service does. It's it's to prevent users from having access to that service. We also want to look at social engineering as another cybersecurity threat that affects law firms. Now, there's an instance whereby Attackers try to manipulate staff into revealing sensitive information through phone calls, messages, or impersonation. I have an instance where was the time they sent me a text message. If you look at the screen, this is the text message telling me that hello, Makurdi's LGA recipients accept 750,000 naira NCTO TCF refuge response register for vulnerable household of February at. They now give me the link there. You see that this message is very, very compelling. One, I am from Makodi. Another thing is, I saw a very big money there. Of course, I will want to know why they are sending me this. And if you look at the name here, this is one of the federal government uh, programs. So what we say about social engineering is they try to impersonate. So they crafted this message so that they will impersonate the federal government and they sent a link. If you look at this link clearly, you will discover that this is not a government link, but they added NG at the end just to manipulate your sense. So if we visit this link now, let's see what will happen. Now, this is the platform. It says that you can see that on my top right hand, you have NISA Finance Bank, Microfinance Bank logo. On the left hand side, you can see that it's National Cash Transfer Office. These two logos are genuine, but they are not related to this platform. So, as we are saying about social engineering, it's about manipulating you and trying to like impersonate a legitimate entity into tricking you to reveal sensitive information. So when you come on this platform already, they have been able to collect some information from various sources on government website. There has been a data breach where they were able to collect such information. Now, when I put my phone number, because they had my phone number and they sent the message to me. So click on verify. Okay, so they have removed it from the record because when I noticed that this particular people were trying to be fishy, I tried to report them to the police. I reported, sent the report to National Cybersecurity Coordination Center, and I reported this particular platform. I did some research about the IP address, and I discovered that one of the IP address they were using was hosted from Iran, and this particular platform was hosted from Lagos. And in supplying my information, I did everything possible not to give them my BVN. I gave a fake BVN. I gave a fake name. I also gave a fake account number and other fake things. So going forward, they started asking that I should pay a stipend of, was it 3,800 naira to access this particular program. Another thing was they were very, very focused on doing it now. One thing you should also look at is the urgency in which they are always asking you to submit your data or give them information. So you pay attention to that. Another thing you need to do is to be careful. When you have this kind of message, the first thing you do is to copy the information the way it is, come to your Google search, paste it there, and search it. So once you do that, you will see that other people will also have such experience, and you will hear other people's review on such things. So in that way, you will not fall victim of such an attack. So we still want to expand further on another cyber threat, which is insider threats. Insider threats are employees or contractors who intentionally or accidentally leak confidential information. Most of the times you have an employee that you are working with them, then maybe they get angry that they're not paying them well, or they are maltreated and they try to like fight back the establishment. So in that way, they try to like compromise the confidentiality of the organization. And sometimes these things they happen by mistake. So one need to watch out for insider threats. Another thing that we have to look at for cyber threats is weak password attack. Like we said earlier, most users try to use one password over and over and over again across various platforms, which is not actually a good practice. Now, once a particular platform or service is compromised, what happens is those attackers they carry your email or your username. They try it on various platforms with that same password to see whether they can log in. So if you use that same password and that same username across multiple platforms, they will gain access to such services and probably steal your credentials or steal your financial security. So common weak password which we see password 123, you see admin, you see user one or user two, and various forms of password. So like we said earlier about having a good password policy, make sure your password is at least 8 characters minimum. You can extend it to 16 characters for maximum security. You also try to include lowercase, uppercase, special characters or digits in your password. It helps to protect you against brute force attack and other attacks. Then we'll talk about data breach. Data breaches, like we have been saying it over and over again. These are unauthorized access to plant files, contracts, litigation documents, or personal data, often caused by hacking, misconfigured cloud storage, or stolen device. Like we said now, if you see that we demonstrated in the form of hacking, whereby we try to install or install a malicious program using PDF on a victim's laptop, where we can use to monitor or steal their information or destroy their files. Let's say you have a rival who is working with you on a case, and you discover that this rival is actually going further or doing well than what you are doing. They they might, or you in a way, if you are tech savvy, you can just come up, generate such system, or they might try to attack you back using such information. So you just need to be wise how you deal with information or devices in this way. Then also talk about man in the middle attack as a cyber threat which also affects law firms. Now, attackers intercept communication over public Wi-Fi. What they do is, once this uh, information are captured, they can use it for whatever objective that the attacker may decide to use it for. So I would like to also demonstrate that how such um, please, before I continue, do anyone have questions? Hello. Okay.
Mr. Chicha, I was going to suggest that we wait till the end of the presentation before we take questions.
Okay, that's great. It's all right. So
Yes, sir.
we're mentioning one. Hello?
Sir? I can hear you, sir.
Yes. Okay, I can go on, ba.
Yes, sir, you can, please.
It's all right. So
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome, man. So we want to look at man in the middle attack. Like we said earlier, attackers intercept communications over public Wi-Fi. What they do is sometimes they capture emails or documents that have been transferred on this particular network. So we want to demonstrate how it is being done. Now, attackers mostly use tools like Bobsuit. Bobsuit is used for website website security. What you do is you use this to intercept traffic and see what is being sent over your network. So what we'll do now is we just try to configure this. So I will launch the browser. So for the purpose of practice, I would like to use OWASP Joy Shop. OWASP Joy Shop is probably the most modern and sophisticated insecure web application. It is used mostly in security trainings, awareness demonstration, and so on. We are using this because this particular application has been built for this purpose. We won't be using other systems. So let's not be as if we are actually doing what we are preaching against. So if we look at the top right hand corner of this particular website, you'll see that you need to log in into this website before you can do anything. Let's say you want to trade. Now, let's say for instance, you don't have an account on this platform, but you want to have privileged access. If you have privileged access of, let's say, a user who have an account already and they have money on this particular account, you can now intercept their their communication between the web interface and the server of this platform, collect their password, login, take away their money. That is just one instance. There are many instances. You can actually be communicating emails between your clients and your clients to you. One can also intercept such communication and steal the information of what you people are talking about. So let's try to demonstrate. I will not split my screen. So then I will try to log in. Now this is me on the login page. So before continuing, I'll just click on this intercept button here. This intercept now captures any traffic from the system, from the web application to the server. So hence the name man in the middle. So this particular bobsword stand in the middle between your web application and your server. So let me try entering a password, my username, which in this case an email. I can also use user at example.com. Then I'll just put any password because for testing purpose. If you now started capturing our traffic, So what we should look at now is post request with login endpoint. Now click on this. Now look at it here. See that it post request with login endpoint. So let's come down into we are seeing the password which the user is trying to send to the server. So this password is actually in this case it is fake. The user does not exist. But we want to get access to the server. So we can just do an SQL injection by modifying the email field. Now we can enter this command here. So we'll leave the password field empty. So we'll now forward the request to the server. Now look at our response here. You see that our response shows that we have access to this particular platform. So we'll now forward it to the application, and you see now we have logged in. So you see we are logged in now. You see orders, you see payments. So that is how man in the middle attack is conducted. So how do you protect yourself against man in the middle attacks? Like we said earlier, one of the ways that you fall victim of man in the middle attacks is when you use public Wi-Fi to communicate. The owner of that network can actually intercept your communication. So be very, very careful how you use public Wi-Fi. Then another thing we want to look at is password and access security. Password and access security involves protecting systems by ensuring only authorized users can access legal systems and documents. So now, like we said earlier about creating password, we are still making statement that let your password be a minimum of 8 characters and minimum of 64 characters, and then it should also contain lowercase, uppercase, digits, and special characters. That's also about password security. Then access security. It means hiding or unhiding your files or your folders on your computer. Now we're making use of Windows 11. The reason why we're making use of Windows 11 is most of the, most of the times our devices have to be up to date, because sometimes devices that are not up to date are most vulnerable for attacks. That is the reason why we'll be using Windows 11. In the case of Windows 10 has elapsed since last year October. So I don't know, is anybody using Windows so that we can demonstrate how to hide folders on your laptop. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Chicha, I'm not using Windows.
Okay,
Please,
okay.
if
So
anybody
we'll
is
just
using Windows,
okay, maybe we'll just go on. I will just explain. Then from there we can just pick it up. So if you are on your Windows, you will just open your File Explorer using your Windows taskbar or your Start menu or Windows key plus E shortcut. Then you right click on the folder you like to hide. Like if you don't have the folder, you can create one. Then you just like we will have it on the screen here. You can now locate properties and click on the pop-up menu. Then you will see that it will give you a new window. So this new, if you look at it clearly, you'll see where it's hidden and it is being marked there with red. Now, normally, if you fold not hidden, you will see the checkbox not check. So if you want to hide your file or the folder, you can just click on it and it will hide. So after doing that, you click on OK. Then once you have clicked on the radio button next to your preference, you click on OK again to finalize your action. Now there are other third-party applications that if, for instance, you want to use extra security for your folders, there is Wise Folder from Microsoft Store. So you can actually make use of that too. So this is the Wise folder. You can go to your Microsoft Office and download it and use it to hide your files and your folder. So I will also copy the link and drop it in the chat for 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 usage. So someone just asked how you you can unhide or retrieve hidden folders. Yes, we are getting to that. So the next thing is to how to find hidden folders on Windows 11. You can also do the same thing on Windows 10 and even Windows 7 if you are using those Windows. So as usual, you can still open your File Explorer using the quickest way possible by Windows Plus. Hit on your keyboard, then as the image, the screenshot on the screen, you will see that in your File Explorer, there's a view menu there. Once you click on view, you come down to the option of show. When you click on show, it will give you further options of hidden items. When you click on hidden items, all the files that you have, they are hidden on your system will display. That is in that particular location where you opened it. So there's another thing that which you need to understand. Hidden files, you cannot search for them. You cannot search and find them like other files that are not hidden. So once a file is hidden using the earlier method, you cannot find it except you go through this process. So when you click on this, you will see all the files that are hidden. Then if you want to remove that the functionality of, you don't want it to be hidden anymore, you right click on it as usual, then select properties from the pop-up menu, just like from here, like just like now. Then you just come back and uncheck that uh, uh button beside the hidden options there, and you click OK, and that is all. Now your files or your folder will be unhidden. Then we want to also look at email security, email and attachment security. Email and attachment security protects against phishing attacks like we discussed earlier, malware, and accidental disclosure of confidential documents through the email. So ways in which such protection can be done is encrypting sensitive emails and attachments, then you need to have your documents passworded. What do I mean by that? Sometimes you are sharing your documents as an attachment in an email over the internet, and you will send it to your clients. Then sometimes the email of this client is compromised, and those people who you don't intend them to have access to these documents, they will access it. To protect against that, you need to password your documents. So once you password this document and you don't send them the password to that document, they cannot access it. Now, when you send this information and it gets to the intended recipient and they try to access it, they will contact you and ask you, you send us this document to, but it is passworded. How should we access it? A good example of such things are when banks, they actually send us password, send us a PDF with us having to use our password, and they will tell you in your mail that you should use either the last 4 digits that are your bank card or last 4 digits of your bank account. So let's try to demonstrate this. Now I have a document here called Lorem Ipsum. Then I want to send this document to my clients using my email over the internet. So after preparing my document and I'm sure that what I want is complete, I'll just come here on File, then click on Protect, then add password, then I will enter my password, then confirm the password again, then I'll click OK. So now my document is passworded. So if I close this document now and I try to open it again, you can see that it is asking me for password. So I have to enter my password, then click on OK. Then I'll have access to the content of the document. You do this because you actually want to protect the information that you are sharing over the internet. So when you do that, your recipients, they will definitely reach out to you because they have access to this information and you know that yes, this thing is correct. They will you not give them the password to your document. Then we want to also look into secure file storage and sharing. The essence of this is to ensure that legal documents are stored and shared securely to prevent unauthorized access and to prevent data leaks. Like we have been repeating this whole idea of data leak, confidentiality, authenticity. Imagine that you and your client are working on a case and you send them an information, someone who is very good with these tools we just discussed here, intercept this, collect it, modify it before sending it to your clients. It's not actually a good thing. And when your clients send back their response, they collect it, modify it, send it back to you. Meanwhile, they are stealing the information and they will actually have your business compromised, which is why we want to protect against that. So, how do you send a secure email? So, in this case, we want to try to use uh, Google emails, Google Mail to send a secure email. So, we are using Google Mail for because that is the most common email service we have on ground, and most people use that. So that's why I'm using it. Maybe subsequent times there's an opportunity for this to also come up. We can also use other services that other people are using that we have not we didn't discuss here. So now I am in my email now. I try to compose. I will still copy. Let's say, for instance, you have scheduled a training with your clients. So this is the schedule, and we can put the subject to be cyber security training. Then, if you if you look down here, you see that there is a padlock here. This padlock is the security that you can use to secure your email. So we cannot click on this padlock. You see uh, period. So you can choose to keep it expire in a day, in a week, in a month, 3 months, 5 years, depending on how secure you want that information to be and depending on what the information is for. So in this case, we want to make it 1 day. Then there is other option of passcode to be generated. If you choose passcode, for instance, they will ask you to enter a phone number. But this particular service is not available for Nigeria. So we cannot use this for now. So we can choose no passcode. Then we click on save. Then we select recipient. I will still use my email. Then I'll just click on send. So now when we come to my work email, Okay, now we have it here, cybersecurity training. So if you look at it now, you see that they are requiring that we should verify our email. Why? Because that is a secure mail that has been sent. So when I click on uh, view the mail, it will open. But there's something that I want to make it known. Once you share such email, it cannot be forwarded, it cannot be downloaded, and your content will expire after the period set. So let's open it and see how it looks like. So you see that there's a countdown here. Content expires February 26th, which is weekday, tomorrow. Then there's no this thing, there's no button for you to forward or download any of these. You just look at it, and after a while, it disappears. Now, if this email is not your own, you cannot open it because you must verify that you're the owner. It means that if you don't have the password, you cannot open this email. So, in a way, you have actually secured uh, the information that you sent using your email. Another thing we need to look at is restrict access to files by matter or client. So, for instance, you have a Google Docs or a Google Slides, or let's let's use Google Docs, and you create a file, and you want to share with specific clients. And sometimes you might use the email to share this, or you have to embed the link in another document, let's say a PDF or a Word document. Now, after you have drafted your file and you are sure that all the contents are intact and you want to share it, you can also try to implement the security protocol there by choosing who views this file. Now look at it here, and say that the document is restricted. It means even if I copy this link and I give to you, you cannot open it. They will ask you for permission for this thing, for approval. So one of the ways that you can do this by choosing who accesses this document, like we said here, that to restrict access to files by matter or client. So you just want a specific or two or three clients to view this particular file in a pool of other clients working on the same case. What you need to do here, you can just come here and enter their email, then enter that email. Let's say you can just enter this one, then choose the role which you want them to play. They can only view or comment, or you want them to look at this particular document and um, edit. Then once you are done, you click on send, and the particular recipient gets this document with a link in their email requesting them to either view it or take action based on what you have written here. So that is how you protect access to files by either matters or by client. Another thing we still say is we should avoid sharing files via public links. You see, this public link is always coming up because it's a serious case that we should not take for granted. So we were looking at device security and safe work habits. The device that we use to do our work, that is our laptops, our phones, our tablets, are precious tools that we use to actually carry out work efficiently. Now, if we don't protect them, it will affect our productivity it will affect our output, and at the end of the day, we cannot succeed in what we are doing. Now, during remote work or hybrid work, legal work has to consider so many things once using your device. One of the things that you need to consider while using your device for work is antivirus and endpoint security. Now, we all know about antivirus, but sometimes using the right antivirus becomes the issue. Now, Windows actually comes shipped with its own antivirus called the Windows Defender. So all you need to do is keep your device up to date, hook up the internet, go to the settings, go to update Windows and update your Windows. It downloads the recent patch of your operating system and it keeps your device up to date. Another thing about endpoint security is tools like firewalls. You have a website where you have your clients schedule court dates with you, submit cases for you, and other issues. You have to install firewalls to protect your website against things like the denial of service attack that we discussed earlier, where your services are overwhelmed with a lot of requests and it gets it slowed down and deny users of using your services. Then we also look at keeping your device up to date and also uh, uh, downloading security patches. If you're using your Mac or you are using Android, you are using Linux, what you need to do is always try as much as possible to keep your system up to date because every day we have cyber threats that are emerging. And as they are emerging, the producers of these systems are also patching the loopholes in their system so that you'll be protected while using these devices. You can also use screen locks and full disk encryption. Screen locks are common on our phones and also on our laptop. Sometimes you are in your office, you want to dash out to go and urinate, you want to go to get something, probably from the canteen and the rest, and you just allow your laptop to be like that. No, you can just lock the screen. Then when you come back, you continue from what you are doing. It's a way of securing your device so that someone will not come and it drops on your workflow. Then full disk encryption, have a flash drive or you have your hard disk, you can encrypt it so that even when someone steals your laptop, they cannot be able to have access to your hard drive. Thereby, they must format that hard drive. If not, they cannot use it. So your information is protected, although you will lose the information, but you are sure that your information stays secret. No one can view it. Then, as we are saying over and over again, avoid public Wi-Fi. Then if you must use public Wi-Fi, try as much as possible to use VPNs while working remotely. Now you can use VPNs such like um, Winscribe. Winscribe is a very good VPN. All you need to go on their website, download it to your phone or your computer. They are compatible with Linux, Mac OS, Windows, and Android. So you download it, they give you 15 gigabytes of internet access. The internet access here is that you can use 15 gigabytes free access with your own internet. If you exceed that particular bandwidth, you have to pay to use it. So if you own the the VPN and you don't have data, you cannot access the internet except you have internet before you can access it. But for each work you are doing, you have a countdown from 15 gigabytes to zero. So it gets to renew every month. So for every month, it's renewed to 15 gigabytes and stuff like that. So to give a recap of what we have said earlier, we we discuss about introduction to cybersecurity, where we cover topics like understanding cyber threats in legal practices. And these cyber threats, we mentioned ransomware, social engineering, phishing attack, insider threats, um, viruses, and the host of them. We also talk about password and access security, where we talked about creating passwords that are secure, adding numbers, lowercase, uppercase, special characters, and making it a length or minimum of um, 8 characters, or increasing it to 16 characters and having a maximum of 64 characters. We also talked about how to hide, to have protect your access to your files. Like for instance, hiding your folders or your file on your system using Windows 11. We talked about email and uh, attachment security, where we discuss how your email can be protected with documents that have been passworded. We also talked about secure file storage and sharing, where you decide who uses the files and who does not use the file, and also discuss device security and safe work habits, where you need to use VPN, you need to avoid public Wi-Fi. You also need to lock your screens whenever you are away from your phones, on your laptop or your desktop. And with that, we have come to the end of this class. Thank you very much. We shall be taking any questions if there are any. Thank you very much.
So much, Mr. Teacher. I must really commend your teaching abilities, the details that you've gone into, the display of expertise as well. We want to throw it now to the house to for questions. But Mr. Teacher, I have a question personally now. I remember when you were speaking about email and passwords, and you made a comment that if you use one password across different things, it means that if somebody has access to your password, then they can access all other things. So I don't know if I should expose myself here, but for anything I want to sign into, once I just see sign in with your Google account, I will just sign in because for me it makes it easier. So Instagram, Facebook, anything really, I'll just sign in with my Google account. So is that wrong? And of course, my Google account has just one password. Sometimes when I see, oh, the sign in, a further sign in option, the one that involves you putting your password, I don't do those ones. But the one where they just say, oh, sign in with your Google account, Facebook, all of those things, is that really wrong or not advisable? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that question, Marissa Esther. And that particular process you are using is what we call single sign-on, where you use your email address to sign up across services that permit single sign-on. That is not a bad practice, because what the service does is they pick your credentials from your Google and they use it on the services. It's very easy for you to sign up and very easy for you to keep track of those services. Well, however, if you are using a service that requires you to enter password and stuff, other things, you can use password manager to save your password on them. The password manager, what it does is they help you generate automatic password using the password policy without you trying to crack your brain what kind of password to create. So it's very easy for you to just generate them automatically and save them. That's one of it. So it's a very best practice you are following. Just that ensure that your email, your Google account you are using for single sign on is very well protected. Enable two-factor authentication. Make sure that your password is secured. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. Thank you so much, Mr. Chicha, for that very awesome clarification. Now, let me ask a follow-up question to that question. What would be Sorry, I apologize. A follow-up question to that question would be how is it the same? So, for example, now I'm trying to see how my laptop and my phone can work seamlessly so that it doesn't matter what I have in my hand. I can easily just access files across board. Now, Mr. Victor gave an answer on the first day as regards syncing everything on your Google Drive. I just want to ask if that is the same process for password management. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that is a little bit different from password management. So syncing everything on Google Drive is the kind of saying you have your files or your documents and you want them to be in the cloud so that you can access them at any point in time. Now, this is my Google Drive. I have various folders here. What you see here is what is also on my laptop. It's the same thing on my phone. So I can just go to my phone. Let's say I'm away from my laptop, but I need to work. All I need to do is just to go on my phone, visit Google Drive, and I have access to my files. So what you need to do is once saving your documents, you save them to Google Cloud or save them to OneDrive in the case of Microsoft Office. And whatever thing you are editing, it will be actually changing there in real time. So the only difference is you need to have internet connection at all time to access such services. But in editing of your Google Docs or Google Slides or Google Sheets, you can enable offline mode whereby even if you don't have internet, you can still edit, work on your document. Once you have internet, it will synchronize automatically. Another way to synchronize across device is you are on Google Chrome, for instance, you come to settings and you see this place here said synchronize is turn is off. This one is on already, but if I click on this button, it will actually turn off. So it means that whatever you are doing on this device right now, let's say I'm on my laptop now, whatever I'm doing here, I have a report of this exactly the way it is on my phone. And let's say I'm browsing on my phone and I just say, okay, let me just dash to my laptop. I can pick from where I was browsing. So the reason why it's different from password manager is in the sense that password manager is a software that collects password that you create on different services and store them in a secure place for you. That's number one. Number two, it actually generates password for you automatically when you want to sign up on a new service that does not permit single sign on. Single sign on that is using your email to sign in automatically. So that is just the two difference. I don't know whether your question has been answered. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chicha, it has. Yes, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, ma'am.
Please, yes, as questions come up, please can we just ask questions in the chat? So I'm sure we all have questions. We'll have access to the slides. Mr. Chicha, we would have access to the slides, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
But we still want to take questions, ask questions, and take questions. So you can just please go ahead to ask. Any questions? Yes, I'll just ask. So, Mr. Chicha, on the first day that we had the class, I asked a question to Mr. Victor, and he said that it's going to be handled at some point during the class. While it has been in some sense, I was asking him that, okay, for a lawyer or early career professional or even mid-career professional who wants to embrace, digital competency in their lives, what is something they can do every day? Like, I just want to practice this one habit every day to make my work seamless or better, or that's the question I have. Thank you.
To start with, like we said in the class earlier, make sure that your device are up to date. Always try to update them whenever you have access to the internet. For instance, for instance, when you try to update your phone, they try to tell you that you need to update them over a Wi-Fi. You can go to settings and change that to update using mobile data. So if your device is up to date, you 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 are good to go. Another thing for you to look out for is installing of antivirus on your device. That is your phone, your tablet, your desktop, your laptop. When you install antivirus, some of these antivirus, what they do is they collect all the signatures of viruses. Like in the class, I was showing a particular file extension that is .inf. It's a signal of program that once you see it, you would tell automatically like this is a virus. So when you have an antivirus installed and you try to download a document or you insert a media drive on your device, it notify you immediately that so document or USB drive or DVD drive contains a virus. Then it will require you to take an action. Then another thing is when you are installing a third-party software on your device, that is your phone or your desktop or your laptop or your tablet, they also notify you that device uh, such applications are malicious. Another thing you should need to look out for now, AI is 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 in the tech field now. Everybody is using AI to make their work easy. Now, you can start by learning how to prompt. It will make your work easy. These are day-to-day things that you can do with AI. The another thing you have to look out for, and AI they are free of charge, though they have daily limits. So if you can maybe make use of one or two or three AI, you have Copilot, you have ChatGPT, you have Claude, you have there are many of them that you use for your daily work. They are this there. Then another thing you need to know is, of course, you share documents every day with your clients. You share documents every day with your colleagues. So you also need to learn how to do document formatting, how to bolden your document, where you need to bolden it, your line spacing, the allowed font face to use in your profession, the allowed font size to use in your profession. These are key things. You also need to know how to use Google very well, because Google is on a big scale. There's almost every service that Google is offering. And most of the times people work remotely. So if you know how to use Google Sheets, Google Slides, and Google Docs, it will be easy for you to collaborate with your your colleagues and your clients. Then lastly, you also need to know how to use this thing, softwares that allows you to sign your document digitally. Yes, It's very, very important. It's common in the corporate world today, whereby they send you a file, you don't have time to download it, go and print, sign, scan, and upload again. No, all you need to do is just download the file, upload it on this platform. Then you can either use your mouse or your stylus to sign, or you have your signature already on your laptop. You just upload it on the software, and it appends it to your document. You download it and you send it. So those are the ways, those are the things that you can take to cognition, and it can keep you to speed in the emerging tech world right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Please, we're taking questions. I'm the only one asking Mr. Teacher questions. And we practice these things every day. But if you have questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to drop them in the chat box. Mr. Shisha, I have another question that I wanted to ask earlier. So if someone has, sorry, let me confirm. The question I wanted to ask was around email marketing, for example, and it's just a personal curiosity. How do they get, how do they, when they, even though it's a bulk email and they're sending it out and they're using it for marketing, how do they get it to have everybody's name? When they send you that mail, it comes personalized, kind of. I want to ask how it's been done.
Okay. So what will happen is let me just demonstrate using one emails. Let's say we have MailChimp, and also now this is what we were saying about two-factor authentication. You see that even though I'm the one using it, anybody who tries to access this platform, they cannot access it as long as they don't have my device. So I'm going to send a code to my device. Now log in. So good. So this is my dashboard on the email campaign. So if you look at this place, you talk about audience. So when adding, let's use a single user. So Okay, good. Can you see this? Can you see this button here?
Yes, I can.
Okay, when you check this button, it said that personalize the send to field. Now, once you choose this, you can see the first name, last name. Are you seeing this?
Yes, I can. Okay.
Good. So when you are actually adding your audience to the dashboard, there is a time when let me go back and show you audience. Okay, so let me just say a single account. Now you see that there's first name here, there's first name here, and there's last name here. All right.
Yes.
So during sending the campaign now, once you check that personify box, then you will now choose how you want the emails to be personified, either by their first name or by their last name. So when you check this box, you can now choose the tag. Then you select first name, or you can choose first name and last name. So when you send it, then it personalizes their their experience. That is how it's been done. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you, so I'm following.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Everybody in the comment section is commending the teaching and the training. I want to say thank you for taking out the time to be here and to teach us and empower us to be digitally competent. So on behalf of the CLE, on behalf of the CLE committee of the MBA Gariki branch, I want to say a big thank you to you and participants who have stayed up until this time. Mr. Folarin will not allow me not to acknowledge Mr. Sells. Mr. Sells, I can see here members of the MBA Gariki branch that are still on the call and other participants. We want to say a big thank you to you for joining. There is a group chat. There's a group chat that we created to create a community for people who want to take these skills further. So I'm going to share the link for the group now in the chat box so that you can just join. And then we can continue the conversation there. For those who are not yet on the group chat, I'm going to paste the link now so that you can just join in. Then you can follow the MBA Gariki branch on social media. You can be on different platforms to continue the conversation. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everyone. Mr. Folarin is unavoidably absent as the chairman of the Continued Legal Education Committee of the MBA. He's currently in another meeting, and he sends his esteemed regards. Thank you so much, Mr. Chicha, and thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, school.